Okay, looks like we're recording. Welcome to Nerd Chat. It's been so long since we've done one of these, I completely forgot. Are we on week 8?
I don't know.
Is it week 8?
Something like that.
Okay,
Sure.
let's just say it's
Good
week 8. Yeah, welcome to
let's
week
say.
8 of Nerd Chat. We got regular crew with us, Pat, Dion. Actually, Adeline's not with us. We got Jacob, but our guest today is Rico. Rico, if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about how you got into IT and what you're doing today.
All right. My name is Rico, and some of the English names I name by English teachers since primary school, so I just go along with it. And I graduated 4 years ago in Hong Kong University, and ever since I just jumped into one company and I've been working as a graduate trainee for a year, and they assigned me into different departments once, like some kind of rotations once every 3 months. So after a year training, I ended up in the voice over IP team. So we mainly doing a lot of configuration, deployment, and integration of the service, mostly towards to cell phone service or international direct dial. And we try to migrate the PSTN network into the VoIP network. And right now we're doing these migrations to the cloud-based network, like a cloud-based platform. And that's how I have been doing for these days. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist.
Very cool.
Sounds cool.
I like how he just skirts over that. Like, yeah, we're redoing the entire phone system for Hong Kong, which is like more people in the city than some countries.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Rico, so a little bit about like, so how long you've been doing IT now, and have you done any IT certification training? And obviously, we know, but the world doesn't know. So go on.
Oh, this is here right now? Okay. I've been working for like 4 years now, like stepping to the gateway of the IT since the end of 2016. And for the certifications training, I got my CCNA around 2017, like summertime, somewhere in July. And a year later, I got a CCNP because the company needs me to train me up. So I have to go through different trainings and just get done with it. Last year, I have a little, if I go to the CCNP, why not CCIE? I just go for it. And with also go for different training and stuff, and got my CCIE on February last year. And that's pretty much it. And I've been doubling, how can I say that? Yeah, I've been doubling about AWS as well. So that took a while for me to get used to it. And I got some certification from there as well. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's cool. So for anyone out there that would want to do a CCNP, CCIE, what would be your recommendations of like training or materials or whatever? Like, what would you recommend? Like when I did it, I had a rack, right? Like I didn't use even G, I didn't use G.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of that. I had an airport in this room. This was the room I actually had it in.
A loud jet engine heat creating.
Yeah, I have a little like meme on my Instagram that for the CCIE security, pretty much, with the Santa thing and saying, okay, I need 3 routers, 3 switches, next gen firewalls, ASAs, etc. But
yeah,
like, so did you actually do physical, or did you use EVE-NG to do your labbing and your practicing?
I'd rather say I'm lucky that the company where I work for, we have provided me a bunch of devices, and there's mentors and there's people in the coworkers who have passed the certification before. Mm-hmm. So gotta ask them for help. And most of the software that I've been using is like either Packet Tracer or GNS3. I haven't get to the point that I use the EVE yet, like the EVE-NG. Okay. So yeah, they also provide me different scenarios of different modules along the way to how to troubleshoot it, and a definition of different protocols like OSPF, BGP, MPLS, and other protocols, you name it.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah,
so that's good. So I wanted to ask you about that. So Packet Tracer, because I like Packet Tracer, right? Obviously, it simulates the OS, doesn't emulate it, right? So like it's a little different. Like when you do show IP and show run interface, gig 1/1. You can't run that on packet tracer, right? You can only run that on the real iOS. Or if you do like show run pipe, grep, or include, etc., you can only use certain syntax on packet tracer.
Yep.
So did you find sometimes using packet tracer versus GNS3, the real iOS, did you feel any limitations when you were doing any troubleshooting?
I would rather say that I prefer use GNS, like the latter GNS, because at first, like one thing is when you try to type those syntax, and it's more simplified for me, and it's more convenient for me to go through it, because I just don't want to do show run, or like and other show int, like interfaces of different switches and stuff. So, but actually, when it comes down to the actual test at Cisco, like you went to a Cisco company to take the lab sections, right?
Yep.
So basically, you still need to do that same stuff. Like if you want to troubleshoot and list out every single status on different routers or different nodes, you still need to do the show run again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So like you can't escape that. So I might as well just like to form that, like the pattern when I was practicing it. When it comes down to the actual lab, I can just didn't get bothered by it.
And I guess I have one more question. And since you're at that level of the CCIE, are you looking to do ×2, or you just go with the 1?
Wait, come again?
Would you like to get another CCIE, like security or wireless? No, not collab. You don't want to do collab, but
like the specialization.
Because you have CCIE, not switch or enterprise.
Well, yeah, not at the moment right now, but I'm not pretty sure. Maybe the future I will, because right now Cisco has promoted so many devices, especially when it comes down to the firewalls.
Yeah.
And it's pretty tempting. They released this new certification of DevNet. Yep, DevNet. And that's pretty interesting to me because it comes down to the future where we no longer just simply typing the commands to configuration different single nodes or multi nodes among all the networks. It comes down to like SDN. You might use like automations, and Python might be one of the languages.
Yes.
So DevNet's
like
the certification I look at the scope, and they have like the APIs and Pythons in it. And that's pretty interesting to me. So I might go for the DevNet afterwards. But right now, the DevNet hasn't reached the CCIE levels yet. It's only reached the CCNP. So I wouldn't be that greedy. I'll just start with CCNA to see how it goes. But also it comes down to the company, whether he wants to train me, like the company wants to train me into that directions or not. So right now they want to train me into like a VMware, so want me to go to like a VCP in the
VCV. That's a good one. And then
I want to get
NV. You can do the NV one as well. And for those people that don't know, it's the virtual. You have your VCP or VMware Certified Professional, and then you have data center virtualization, and then you have network virtualization, which is like nested networks, all like virtualized distributed switching, and you understand all of that stuff on the back end of VMware, like NSX and stuff like that. But so that's cool. And I guess how old are you, and how old were you when you actually got your CCIE? Because you look like a youngster.
I got it last year when I was 20. Well, I'm 28 now. I just got past my birthday, so that's like around 27 years old.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Very nice.
That's awesome. Happy birthday.
It was a nightmare, actually. Oh, thank you. So it was a little bit nightmare when I got into the lab. So.
Now, question on that. You mentioned you like GNS3, and maybe Pat can answer this too. But like I know when I was first doing some networking stuff, and GNS3 was still new, it was hard to find like legitimate ISO files to load in there. Do you have any tips for people that may want to start out, like resources they can use to build up a little virtual network?
Totally. So first, they're not ISO files. Remember, they're not ISO, they're iOS. So because people are like looking for ISO files, it's not that kind of image, right? So the iOS, obviously, not, NDAs with Cisco. You have to have a Cisco account, right? You have to have Cisco's thing, and you have to have a partnership, and you can download the images. But if you just do a little Google search, I'll leave it at that. You can find them.
Got it. Because for me, when I was doing this, like practicing stuff, it's basically my coworkers, they already download the ISO images, and we try to build up different scenarios, like ridiculous as possible.
He doesn't listen.
Wait, what?
I'm just being Patty.
Oh.
It's again with the ISO iOS for Cisco.
Oh.
This is what he's talking about. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
God punish me.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. And Dion, what have you been up to, big boy?
A lot, man. A very lot. Yeah, absolutely. I've got a new book. It's this one. Oh,
Let's see it.
I wanted, but it fell out of my hands.
Look
But
at
it's
that.
Linux basics for hackers.
You guys are
Yeah,
nerds.
it's just Linux, you know.
Look at my books. I don't even have none of
Hey,
those.
you know what's funny is and my boy Rodney that was supposed to be on with us today is the one that actually sent me this book for Christmas, dude. He's a
What the
really
fuck?
cool guy.
Then you know it.
Yeah. I haven't
Why
had
am
a
I
chance to
even
look into it.
explaining?
You're right.
No, but it's a cool book. Yeah, of course I knew a lot of it already, but not everything, you know. And I better read something twice, but than skip one thing. So
Right.
I've been studying that book for a bit. I've been playing around with Hack This Site, got some missions done. Yeah, flashed my phone again with the Net Hunter because it was fucked again. It's finished this morning, so now it's good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you sent that to us over this morning.
Didn't
What?
you also do a Ponagachi?
Oh, yeah, the Ponagachi, yeah, also.
No.
I did that one as well, but it's hanging on my backpack and it's off, so
Those are
I
great.
can't show it right now. I'll do that next week.
Yeah, I'm working on a reverse one right now. So a bunch of people that we trained on how to use those built them, and so it's become such a problem that I've made one where it looks for when other Ponagachis are trying to grab signals, and then just
Mhm.
floods the air with just fake crap.
Yeah, with beacons.
Yeah, beacons, and it's basically using air replay to replay a bunch of fake authentication packets that I have stored. So it just floods their database with handshakes for things that don't exist. So I can kind of get them out of my neighborhood.
Ah, so you're one of those. What's your neighborhood? No, but yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. Yeah, and of course my studying is my routine.
Are you still doing like your uni stuff or like the CEH stuff?
CEH, yeah, my education.
Nice.
So
And James, let's get back to you. What about that equipment back there? When is that exam coming up?
This,
yeah, is it running?
the stack over here? No, it's quiet in here. It's actually been quiet in here for the last couple of weeks.
Oh, it's collecting dust again.
Yeah. So funny
You've been
thing.
slacking.
Number one slacker. No, so yesterday was actually my scheduled CCNA exam date. Obviously I had rescheduled it, and that's because I recently had met, and it's crazy because it's through Instagram and through like the networking of different people that I've met on here. I met Daniel from the founder of Blackbot Inc. And he offered me an internship. So I've been working on that. Yeah, just doing stuff here and there for the company. Right now I'm actually working on some AWS stuff. I did a AWS security fundamentals course last night and learned a little bit about that. So that's what I've been working on. This thing has pretty much on pause. It's sad to say, but yeah, I kind of need the full focus for what I'm working on now. Other than that, like little side things, I got this little burner laptop going that I found.
You
Check
installed
this out,
Kali?
guys. Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah.
Is that not
Look,
is that
that's
the
an
coolest
engineer.
shit you've ever seen?
Yeah, that's some real engineering.
I found this thing
Hackintosh.
yeah, it's right in 2 pieces in a bucket in my garage, and I just threw it together. Threw in a new SSD, and it's running cool. So.
But it works, right?
Yep, it works. Yeah.
That's the point.
And you installed
It's all
Kali
about-
on it?
Yeah, I was just keeping it simple and put some Kali on the latest version, and I was actually
2022. That's what I installed yesterday.
yeah.
Cubes OS, dude. I'll get on that later, but pretty tight stuff. And some guys like, oh, you can't run that in a virtual environment. I'm like,
Yeah, you
installed
can.
it on
It's a
virtual
little bit of a
box.
pain, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Why would
That's
you
okay.
use a virtual environment?
Why don't you zip it?
Okay.
Why would you ever use it?
we had a guy that was using Tails for a while. He's like, I can't get anything to save. And I'm like, yeah, that's literally the point of the operating system.
Tails, yeah,
Blows
right.
everything away. Like, don't use that as an OS.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you learn. Like, sometimes you got to make those mistakes. I think a lot of people are
10
too
minutes.
afraid to go out and
Yeah.
fail.
I told
and,
you,
like,
I don't think it
that's
does
the
it with the recording, man. I think it was once it starts, because now we got 10 minutes.
It's all good. But yeah, no, I hear you, Jacob. And that's one of the things that like I've came to like see is that you got to be willing to make mistakes and willing to look stupid if you're going to learn anything. Right?
You're not
Like,
learning if you don't make mistakes.
yeah, exactly. So like I've been like throwing like right now like I'm doing work with some guys that are like way above me, and like I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Just like half the time I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. But
Guys
again,
like me.
yeah, exactly. So I'm just throwing myself out there, you know, and trying my best and really just diving into whatever topic we may be working on. So
Yeah,
That's
it's,
cool,
it's
man.
always good to ask those
Pretty
questions
cool.
too, because like especially when you start getting to a certain point, you forget that you start talking in acronyms.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's like
right.
you're using 3-letter words that could be an entire sentence, and people are just like looking at you with the glazed over eyes, and that's when you gotta make sure you're communicating effectively, especially when you get into different fields, because a lot of times that overlap can be like if you're doing anything with medical and technology, you're going to have a lot of acronym overlap. So, you got to definitely iron out and make sure the communication is clear. Don't be afraid to feel stupid. There's probably someone else in that meeting that wants to ask the question.
Right, yeah. So you're going to be helping yourself and them. And it's funny that you mentioned the 3-letter acronyms, because as I've been doing this AWS security fundamentals, I wrote down a bunch of these 3-letter acronyms.
So what isn't?
Just to find out what they mean, dude, because it's IAM, API, EC2, STS, SNS, S3 buckets, ELB, VPC. It's all this like acronyms that you got to fucking memorize. So
Writing them down is the best way to memorize them.
yeah, me too. I keep it
It's a
old
whole
school,
different realm.
notebook and a pen. Yeah.
Yeah, because Rico, you just got your AWS Solutions Architect, right?
Yeah, I got a professional one, which is quite strange because all the questions they've been listing, it's like taking an LSAT for me, because each single question is really long. It's like reading a whole package, and the answer is really long too. So it comes down to like really detail to a point that they just differentiate the difference between Elastic Cache and other different caches from other NoSQL database and stuff. And it's another torture for me as well, because the whole 3 hours, and they really need to put you to a point that you need to be in the scenarios. If you were the guy, how are you going to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many solutions listing out there. You either go auto scaling, or you do an application load balance or regular load balance, or you might as well using the cloud formations to automate all the code into a template so that you can listing out the whole structures, or migrating this on-premise infrastructure into the cloud. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
Because like AWS, it's a whole different realms. It's like you 1 minute you are in the midland, mid-Earth of Lord of Rings, and you step into Game of Thrones realm. So you have to name all the houses from different places.
Are there any
Technology, I like that.
certificates or anything like that you would recommend for somebody that's first getting into AWS? And I know that there's so many different routes you can take when it comes to AWS. So, I mean, just like generally speaking.
Yes. Well, for me, because I'm more on the network planning side, so I go for the network art, like the AWS Solution Certified Solution Architect trial. But there's another trial, it's like, developer DevOps.
DevOps,
So
SysOps.
if you're if you're really interested in that, you can just go to that direction instead, because they have like 2 ways to go up.
Oh, okay.
But most of my coworkers, they started at the practitioner, because like it's like they haven't heard about the whole AWS before, so it's like a 0 day for them. So they have to go through it the first time, which
Right.
isn't bad. It's like when you try to go through the Cisco certs, you either start with CCNA or start with CCN. Right now, I think CCNA is it's the fundamental part as well. Because I'm not pretty sure, like I don't remember whether the CCN is retired or not. So
Yes, it is. There's no
It
more
is retired, yeah.
one. There's no more ICMD2. Now
Okay.
They do that every 10 years or so. It'll be back.
Right, yeah.
They take it away. They're
Yeah.
like, it's just the CCNA. And then like, okay, we brought it back. It's the CCENT now. And then you can take 1 and 2. And
Just a revamp every few years.
yeah.
That's,
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
So I'm definitely encourage you to go for a practitioner or the associate, because when you can read different articles from the blog, because they provided really interesting articles, like how Netflix tried to use the AWS, and how different other cases as well, like Hulu.
So like real life
and-
applications that are actually happening.
Yeah,
That's cool.
because a lot of those streaming company, they try to use the AWS as their like streaming, like how can I put this? Kinesis, just one of the applications in the AWS. It's just dedicated for streaming, and also cloud front. That's how you know how to extract all the content from the bucket and try to distribute it
probably use
all
like
over the
Lambda.
world, like with
Probably use,
as less as latency as possible.
I can see them
CloudFront,
using like,
Lambda, yeah, I was a couple of things that I was
Yeah.
doing too.
yeah, because I'm thinking you'd have to scale pretty quickly when you got like an extra 100,000 people logging in at the end of the day trying to watch stuff.
Yeah. API gateway and Lambda is a combination of those.
oh, I want to be like you when I grow up.
That's the secret. Kids never grow up. There's always more to learn.
Yep.
What about you, Patrick? What have you done lately?
Yeah, Pat, we got 3 minutes left. What's
Yeah, fill it.
No, not much. I moved from my old house back to here about 3 weeks ago, something like that. I was in Vegas for 5 days. That was a pretty cool trip. As far as studying and stuff like that, I've been slacking. I just got back on it yesterday. So I actually got my office set up and everything like that. But a cool little thing, like I hung out with someone that pretty much mentored me my whole life without even knowing.
Okay.
Keith Barker. So
very cool.
yeah, man, that was super, super honorable to like hang out with him, have like the
T-shirt with his name on.
Huh?
Did you have a T-shirt with his name on?
The OG of IT.
Yeah, the OG of IT, like it's and then like that's his brand or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it on the pictures.
Yeah, the guy is just like super humble and just like an honor to like be his friend, you know what I mean? Like to have someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty cool. And aside from that, go see the mountains or whatever. The desert over there was pretty cool.
Nice.
Super hot, man. It was like 110 degrees there.
Oh yeah, Fahrenheit. Oh,
I was dying.
At least it's dry
Celsius.
weather.
No,
At least it's not
I'd rather
humid.
this. I'd rather 90 degrees and humidity. Like, dude, it was like walking in an oven. I couldn't even do it. Like
I can't do that Florida humidity, Pat. No, thank you.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you build a state in the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That desert was off the chain. But yeah, and then like as far as I'm just start like doing some studying again. Have to really get on that. And I started a gig doing pen testing. So I need to really, really
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning something about that.
Yeah, I start tomorrow. So that's pretty
Very cool, dude. Hell yeah.
that'll be exciting. So like there's some stuff that I have to brush up on because they use technology that I haven't really, played with in that sense. Like I was just saying, Impreza for WAFs, and there's a few other things. But yeah, man, just that, and I need to set up a little lab with that, put a little front end web server in Apache, and just go to town and use it.
That's cool.
That's it.
Very nice.
But I think
Less than a minute.
yeah, less than a minute. But
Less than a minute, guys.
Go for it, James. Go for it.
close it out.
That's where I take my cue. Yeah, it was good to finally see you guys again. It's been a while. Nerd Chat is back. I'm so honestly surprised that we went so many weeks in a row without even being able to do this. So if anyone wants to come on, just contact any of us on Instagram, and we would love to have you on. We always need people. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do this again next week. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys.
See you later.
See you later.
See you later.